guys, what's up? It's Shauna. Excuse my crazy hair. I'm trying to get caught up on some videos. So today I am going to be doing my February wrap up. Better late than never. Okay, so this month I read 7 books. A little bit less than I did in January. I'm gonna blame it on the short month because I can. A lot of these were audiobooks this month because I'm trying to read some review books, so I'm annotating those, and it's taking me a little longer than I expected. This is the first time I've ever annotated a book. So to tally it up, I had 1 1-star review, 0 2-star reviews, 2 3-star reviews, 3 4-star reviews, and 1 5-star review. I'm going to start with the 1-star and move up to the 5-star books. Okay, so let's start with the 1-star review that I had for this month. And this was Warstorm by Victoria Aveyard. Warstorm is the final installment of the Red Queen series. I won't give a blurb about this book just because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who is intending on reading it. Let's just say I was extremely let down by this series, and the final book just kind of felt like a whole lot of nothing happening, and like the author forgot what she named the series. It honestly felt a lot less like a Warstorm and more like a drizzle. So I really didn't love it. I didn't like the characters. I was really bummed that I put so much time into this series, but the first book and the third book I really enjoyed, so I was really hoping that this one would really hit it into high gear for me and I would end up loving the series as a whole. But as it stands, I believe this is my first 1-star review of the year. As I said, I had no 2-star reviews, so I'll move on to my 3-star reviews. The first 3-star review that I read was Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. This is an adult thriller that follows Amy and Nick on their 5th anniversary, and Amy goes missing and it follows Nick as he tries to figure out where the heck she went. I really liked the style of this book. It went from Nick's point of view to Amy's diary entries, and it made for a really interesting dynamic. But I didn't really connect with the characters, and I kind of actually hated them both in the end, which maybe was the intent, but I like a character that I can root for, and I found myself really not caring about either of them. The second 3-star read I had this month was The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. This book follows Adelaide, a countess who impersonates her servant to escape a marriage to her cousin. She joins the Glittering Court because once she's married, she can avoid her family's wishes and kind of live a life of her own, even if she is married off to some guy. So I really enjoyed the first half of the book, the Glittering Court aspect of it. However, the second half felt a little bit detached for me, and it seemed like it was almost a different book entirely. So that's kind of what led me to my 3-star review. It was a good book. I enjoyed it, and I'm going to read the second book in the series. However, it just wasn't great. On to my 4-star reviews. The next book I read was The One by Kiera Cass. And this is obviously one of the selection series. I've featured these in a few of my videos now because I've been really enjoying them. And I was super impressed with this book. It was the most interesting of the first 3 books that I have read, and I loved it. I'm obviously not going to give a blurb on this book just because if you haven't read the series, then there'll be spoilers, and I don't want to ruin it for you if you are interested in reading the series. But there was a lot more action in this book, and I felt like stuff was actually happening, and it was really exciting, and it felt like America was really starting to be really active in this book instead of passive and just letting things happen to her. So I really liked that about this book. The second 4-star read of this month was Wildcard by Marie Lu. Obviously, this is the second book in the Warcross series, and my husband and I both read this together, so that was really fun. Since he doesn't really read, this is the first series that he's ever read, so it was really exciting to be able to enjoy that with him. And I really enjoy Marie Lu's style, and Wildcard was an excellent sequel to Warcross. I really enjoy the characters of this book, and overall, I really enjoy this series, and I possibly enjoy it more just because I've been able to read it with my husband. I also love that you never know who you can trust in Marie Lu's stories, so it's always a flip-flop of who the heck could be the real villain, and it kind of allows you to kind of piece the story together and figure it out yourself. The third and final 4-star review that I had this month was One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. There were 4 students in the classroom when Simon died, and he knew something about each of them. So now this follows the story of figuring out how Simon died, and it is so exciting, and I love some of the characters. I really enjoyed the characters Nate and Bronwyn. I thought they were very well rounded, and they just, I just love them so much. And I really enjoyed the friendship that comes from this whole event, and it's just a really interesting read that had me hooked from the beginning. Though I wasn't thoroughly shocked by the twist, I was satisfied. Now on to my 5-star review of this month. I am so excited about this book because I had seen it on so many booktuber shelves, so many bookstagrams, and no one had actually read it. And I don't understand why, because I absolutely loved it. And that is The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. This book follows Nemesis, a Diabolic. Basically, Diabolics are created to be superhumans. They are meant to bond with a person, and once they're bonded with a person, they're void of feelings for anyone else, and they will do anything to protect that person. Diabolics got a bad rap and basically got abolished from the earth, but Nemesis has been saved by her bonded person Sidonia. So when Sidonia is summoned to the Imperial Court as a hostage, Nemesis takes her place to protect her from whatever the Imperial Court has in store for her. I fell in love with Nemesis, and I loved that she came into her feelings and realized that, you know, she's more than just this Diabolic. She is a person, and I had so many feels during this book, and that's really what I live for. And it was dark and awesome and all the things that I love in a book. So I highly recommend The Diabolic, and if you are one of those people that have this sitting on your shelf, like, you need to get to it now because it was so good, and I'm so excited to read The Empress. So those were all my reads for February. I hope you enjoyed this wrap up, and I am already way ahead of schedule in March, so I'm super excited. I've also taken more detailed notes for March, so I'm very excited about what my March wrap up will look like. So that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for stopping in. I post videos about everything books and writing once a week on Wednesdays, so if that sounds good to you, I'd love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe below, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!